Did you know there's a country that fits inside a single city? Or that a desert can get snow? Get ready! Because your view of the world is about to get a major upgrade. We've dug up 100 of the most mind-blowing geography facts that they definitely did unteach you in school. So grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's explore our incredible planet. Let's start with scale. Russia is so enormous, it spans 11 time zones. When people in Western Russia are having breakfast, folks in the Far East are sitting down for dinner. And speaking of size, did you know that Africa is so vast you could fit the USA, China, India, Japan, and most of Europe inside it with room to spare? It's way bigger than it looks on most maps. Now for some weird borders. There's a point in Africa where 4 countries, Botswana, Namibia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. It's called a quadrupoint. And speaking of strange borders, the border between the USA and Canada is the longest international border in the world, yet it's almost entirely undefended. But even stranger is the town of Barle, which is split between Belgium and the Netherlands. The border runs right through houses, cafes, and shops. Some front doors are in 2 different countries. Let's talk about extremes. The coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth was in Antarctica, a bone-chilling minus 128.6 degrees Fahrenheit. On the flip side, Death Valley in California holds the record for the hottest air temperature, a scorching 134 degrees Fahrenheit. And the driest place on Earth isn't the sun. It's the Atacama Desert in Chile. Some parts of it haven't seen a single drop of rain in over 400 years. Yet, surprisingly, the Sahara Desert sometimes gets snow. It's rare, but it happens. Ever heard of a country inside a country? There are 3 of them. Vatican City and San Marino are both completely surrounded by Italy, and Lesotho is a kingdom entirely landlocked within South Africa. Vatican City is the smallest country in the world. So small, you could walk across it in under an hour. Meanwhile, Monaco II, smallest country, is so densely populated, it has the highest number of billionaires per capita. Water is full of surprises. The deepest point on Earth is the Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean. It's so deep that if you placed Mount Everest at the bottom, its peak would still be over a mile underwater. The pressure there is immense, over 1,000 times the pressure at sea level. But did you know the largest waterfall in the world is actually underwater? The Denmark Strait Cataract between Greenland and Iceland has a flow rate 500 times that of Niagara Falls. And the longest river, while many think it's the Nile, recent studies suggest the Amazon River in South America might actually be longer. Let's move to islands. Australia is technically the world's largest island, but it's also a continent. So, the title for the largest island usually goes to Greenland. On the other end of the spectrum, Pitcairn Island in the Pacific is one of the most remote inhabited places on Earth, with a population of only about 50 people. And Indonesia is the world's largest archipelago, made up of over 17,000 islands. If you visited one island a day, it would take you 46 years to see them all. Now, for some city facts. Tokyo is the world's most populous city, with over 37 million people in its greater metropolitan area. That's more people than the entire population of Canada. And Mexico City is sinking. Because it was built on a lake bed, it's been sinking at a rate of about 10 inches per year. Meanwhile, Istanbul in Turkey is the only city in the world that straddles 2 continents, Europe and Asia. You can literally cross continents in a matter of minutes. Let's debunk some myths. The Great Wall of China is not visible from the moon. No man-made structure is. And Mount Everest is the highest mountain above sea level. But if you measure from the Earth's center, Mount Chimborazo in Ecuador is actually higher because of the planet's equatorial bulge. And if measured from base to peak, Mauna Kea in Hawaii is the tallest, with most of its height hidden beneath the ocean. Time for some quickfire facts. Canada has more lakes than the rest of the world's lakes combined. Over 60% of the world's lakes are in Canada. The Philippines has an island within a lake on an island within a lake on an island. It's called Vulcan Point. The Dead Sea is so salty that you can effortlessly float in it. It's also the lowest point on dry land, over 1,400 feet below sea level. And did you know that about 90% of the world's population lives in the northern hemisphere? Let's talk about unique landscapes. Tissa, Kotra, Archipelago, part of Yemen, is so isolated that a third of its plant life is found nowhere else on Earth. It looks like an alien planet with bizarre-looking dragon's blood trees. In Turkmenistan, there's a giant fiery crater called the Door to Hell. It is a natural gas field that collapsed into a cavern and was set on fire by geologists in 1971 to prevent the spread of methane gas. It has been burning ever since. Here are some country name facts. The name Spain is believed to have originated from a Phoenician word meaning land of rabbits. The official name of Libya, for a time, was the longest official country name in the world. And Greenland's name is a bit of a misnomer. It's mostly ice. It was named by Eric the Red to attract settlers. Iceland, on the other hand, is much greener than its name suggests. Let's go back to water. The Pacific Ocean is the largest and deepest ocean, covering about 30% of the Earth's surface. It's so big that all the continents could fit inside it. And Angel Falls in Venezuela is the world's tallest uninterrupted waterfall, with a height of over 3,200 feet. The water drops for so long that much of it turns into mist before it even reaches the bottom. How about some human geography? More people speak Mandarin Chinese as their first language than any other language in the world. And Papua New Guinea is the most linguistically diverse country, with over 800 indigenous languages spoken. That's more than one language for every 10,000 people. There are more people living inside a single circle in Asia, known as the Valaripiara Circle, than outside of it. This circle includes China, India, and Southeast Asia. Let's visit the poles. The Arctic is an ocean surrounded by continents, while the Antarctic is a continent surrounded by an ocean. This is why polar bears are only in the Arctic, and penguins are mostly in the southern hemisphere, including Antarctica. And did you know there are no snakes in Ireland, Iceland, New Zealand, or Antarctica? Here are some fascinating mountain facts. The Himalayas are the youngest and highest mountain range on Earth, and they are still growing by about an inch every year due to the Indian tectonic plate pushing into the Eurasian plate. The Andes in South America form the longest continental mountain range in the world. Let's touch on some volcanic activity. The Ring of Fire is a horseshoe-shaped area in the Pacific Ocean where about 90% of the world's earthquakes and 75% of its active volcanoes are located. And Yellowstone National Park sits on top of a supervolcano, a caldera so large that a massive eruption could have global consequences. Time for more country curiosities. Nauru is a tiny island nation that is the only country in the world without an official capital. It's also the world's fattest country. And Brazil is the only country in South America where Portuguese is the official language. Every other country's official language is Spanish, except for a few smaller territories. The state of Alaska is both the westernmost and easternmost state in the USA. Its Aleutian Islands stretch across the 180-degree meridian into the eastern hemisphere. Let's cover some amazing natural wonders. The Great Barrier Reef in Australia is the world's largest coral reef system. So large, it can be seen from space. It's composed of over 2,900 individual reefs and 900 islands. In Vietnam, there's a cave so large, it has its own river, jungle, and even its own climate. It's called Hang Son Doong. And how about some geographical oddities? Point Nemo is the most remote place on Earth, the oceanic pole of inaccessibility. It's the point in the ocean that is farthest from land. The closest humans are often astronauts aboard the International Space Station when it passes overhead. And there's a place in Norway where the sun is visible for 24 hours a day during the summer, a phenomenon known as the midnight sun. We're almost at 100. Here are the final few. There are only 2 countries in the world whose names start with the Bahamas and the Gambia. Russia and Japan have still not officially ended World War II due to a dispute over the Kuril Islands. San Marino is the world's oldest republic, founded in the year 301. The capital of Siberia, Novosibirsk, is the 3rd most populous city in Russia, despite being in one of the coldest regions. The Caspian Sea is the world's largest inland body of water, often classified as the world's largest lake. And finally, the Earth is not a perfect sphere. It's an oblate spheroid, slightly squashed at the poles and bulging at the equator. And there you have it. 100 incredible facts about our world that hopefully gave you a new appreciation for geography. Which fact blew your mind the most? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. See you next time.